Watch this before you play the latest update for Battlefield 2042 Season 7. The 7th season of Battlefield 2042 will be out next week, and I have had enough experience with the launch content of Season 7 to bring you guys up to speed. Before we get into the juicy information in this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and it genuinely does help a lot. Thank you to the EA Creator Network for letting me partake in all of these events. It's great. If you're planning on getting the game on the EA desktop app after watching this, I have an amazing announcement that you can now use my code Torbis at the checkout of anything Battlefield 2042 related. So that is the full game, points, that's the coins, or the season pass at the checkout, which helps me just a little bit. So let's get straight into it. Now, will this season be worth it to returning players and or players who are thinking about buying Battlefield 2042 today? I will try and provide enough information so you guys can get to decide if spending money or returning to this game will be worth it. It is important for me to state that half of the content in this season will not be there at launch, which might be disappointing to some. The Stadium, the DFR Strife, and the XFAD4 Draugr, the Drone Bomber, will be releasing at a later date in this season, which of course is quite a shame in my opinion. But what will be coming in Season 7 for the launch? You'll be getting Haven, which is the map set in Chile Atacama Desert, 2 weapons, 2 of which is the CZ3 Scorpion, which many have seen in previous games, as well as the AK-5C, which is a beloved weapon in Battlefield. Of course, lastly, we'll be getting the Straw, a fan favorite launcher from BF4, which kind of acts like a tow launcher. For starters, the update brings quite a few large changes to the game, such as sweeping recoil additions across all weapons, some of which feel really good and others not so much. Alongside these recoil changes, the weapons have also had their headshot multipliers tweaked, which could potentially be a good thing, a bad thing. As many of us know in the community, the overall SMG category can be rather weak, especially in those mid to somewhat longer ranges. Obviously, an SMG isn't supposed to be there, but in most games that would be fine, but the ranges in 2042 can sometimes they're quite incredibly long with how the maps were. Even after the reworks, they're quite large, which obviously does not help the SMGs in the slightest. But overall, I have had a positive experience on the recoil changes, and I can't wait to test more of them. I did not get enough time to play with them. The SC3 Scorpion and AK-5C actually felt really good in the game. Both were very capable in their own rights, and I used both for quite a while. And I never actually got bored of them. They all felt really good, and I think that's a good sign. The Scorpion really excels at close to medium range. With its 800-ish RPM, it's quite controllable while still putting a lot of lead down range. And it also has a fair few options for attachments and even 2 drum mags, which I think both were standard issue. I think it was standard issue and probably high power. But it does have close quarters ammo too, if I recall. The AK-5C is honestly one of the most fun guns I've ever used in Battlefield 2042. There's so many ways you can build it, especially as it has standard issue, close quarters, and high power ammunition types, and each of them make the gun feel and act really unique, which is honestly kind of unheard of for Battlefield. For example, the high power ammo has a 4 BTK, so that's a 4 bullet to kill, up to a staggering 50 meters, which is insane. Though of course the fire rate is a bit slower and recoil is higher. The close quarters ammo made it much more useful in those close quarter situations where firepower and fire rate really excels, and it just did amazing there. You can obviously choose the standard issue if you want to have a bit of both, you know, in between the close quarters and the high power. It's good at medium range and it averages it out really well. How do I feel about the map? Honestly, Haven was an incredibly good experience from the get-go. It took me back to the strike at Karkin days. It was very much looked and felt like Karkin. I think that's a very good thing. Of course, the map does look great, and it is quite destructible because of the use of portal maps such as Arica Harbor buildings. Though, of course, they are more vibrant, and in my opinion, pretty much, they look better. I think they look better with its, you know, more colors. But that's just me. It is not a large map, but it is also not very small. It fits in this medium size, which is perfect for it. The flags are also situated in what I think is the perfect layout. You got 1 map in the middle, and then 4 flags on the outside. In this case, you have a flag in the west, north, south, and east. They all play really well together. You have breathing room around the middle flag, which can be quite hectic at times. It's in this like lower courtyard with houses and terraces above that can look down onto the objective itself. The map uses verticality really well, and if you as a player manage to get on top of roofs, you'll be able to take out a lot of enemy players just because of that. It's quite important to know your routes on Haven. It's a phenomenal map and I really enjoyed it. I will say though, I do think the biggest downside of the map is not even the map, it's the Nightbird. I don't think it fits there. There's no anti-air vehicles there, you know, though there is the anti-air turrets, which you can hop into, but honestly, you can destroy those easily and hide from them. I honestly would love to see the Nightbird removed, and then I think it would be a very good map. Now let's get a little bit onto the Battle Pass. It's not too bad. There's some fairly interesting cosmetics in there. And if you do want a full rundown on that, check out my other video on the Battle Pass. Of course, any gameplay type items will also be in the free version, which I think is great. Hopefully this Battle Pass won't be as grindy as Season 6, because my god damn, that thing was super grindy and took a long time. But we'll see. Now, that was it for Season 7. I think it has some interesting content on it and a pretty good map. But of course, the Battlefield 2042 that you know, it's kind of still there. Obviously, there's a lot more general content, but seasons themselves in this game doesn't usually bring a huge amount of content either ways, which is, of course, a shame. What's the general state of the game? It's okay. It's not anything spectacular. It works. That's about it. I mean, it still has some issues. If you already own the game, I would say re-download it and try it. If you want to buy it, wait until a sale. I wouldn't buy this game on full price. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Did you guys decide if you want to try it or not? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Boy.
The enemy holds the majority of sectors.
Grenade going up!